Good evening, this is NEWS.PH. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Good friends, good conversation, good food, good music, the typical Pinoy Christmas. That's what we present tonight on NEWS.PH. Our Christmas conversation is about politics, which is, after all, a national pastime. And Christmas, well, the Pinoy Christmas is legendary. And what do we talk about? The biggest political stories of 2012. My guests in this two-part Christmas or NEWS.PH Christmas special: journalist, media critic, and analyst Vergel Santos at the Center for Media Freedom and Responsibility. But Vergel is not only here to inject his wit into the conversation. You're here, of course, because you're going to provide us the good music, right?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. So we'll see. But of course, that is so because, after all, you know, who's Paulo Santos without...
He's related to me.
He's related to you. Oh my goodness. Okay, but do you have a CD na ba? Wala pa. Okay, we will take care of that. Our next guest, Malu Tiquia, political consultant, founder and general manager of Publicus Asia Incorporated. Disclosure: Malu and I are third cousins. Yeah, on my mom's side, the Navarros of Oriental Mindoro. Attorney Dante Desierto, who was one of our two legal analysts during our coverage of the impeachment trial, and Leloy Claudio. Leloy has something to say about anything and everything. Academic Department of Political Science.
Yeah, Ateneo de Manila.
Ateneo de Manila University. And of course, the RH bill, di ba? You were one of the 140 ba?
Oh yes, yeah.
So you must be so happy now. But anyway,
I'm
well,
very happy now.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is an informal, casual Christmas conversation. So let's begin with what you think, each of you think, is was that one event that defined 2012 for you. And so what would that be? Vergel?
Impeachment, I would suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it showed something that nothing in this country has ever been done.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow defined a certain measure of political will for the leadership. Imagine at all that you had no less than the Chief Justice of the nation as the target.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Although I thought it did not require such a process, because the case to me did not seem to need any proving.
Mm-hmm.
but all the same,
yeah.
I thought it was a good political cultural event.
Okay. Malu, do you agree?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Vergel, simply because you saw political institutions pursue the clear mandate from the president.
Mm-hmm.
So here you have two branches of government trying to get rid of someone who apparently in their measurement failed. But again, if you look kind of straight towards the impeachment objective, it's not really for graft and corruption, but essentially for non-disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have to be reminded by that, simply because this government pursued corruption as an issue in campaign.
Okay, Dante, I suppose you will agree because you were with us for 6 months.
I just joined the bandwagon. No, but seriously, kidding aside, after having seen close hand the proceedings in the Senate, I think it was really a huge test for the political maturity of the Filipino people. It was also a test for the institutions, whether or not they will work and whether or not we would reach the end. For the first time we actually did.
Yeah.
But on the lighter side, I also like because I'm a lawyer by profession, I really enjoy the clash between the lawyers. It was really a test of skill, preparation.
So who is the most skilled?
Well, I would have to say that of course, the prosecution, because they won the case. But,
Ganun ba? Okay.
But the truth of the matter is, regardless of the preparation, but regardless of the caliber of your lawyers, the truth really came out. And for me, I think that was the biggest thing that happened this year.
Leloy,
There is something to be said about political institutions, but we also have to take note of civil society movements. And I think the biggest civil society success of this year was the RH bill. That's a 13-year-old campaign that was run by the women's movement, and then it attracted a lot of supporters from the internet, from free thinkers, from the gay rights, from the LGBT movement. So it's a really massive coalition.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important because it just shows how vibrant politics is in this country from the ground up. And the other thing to note there is the defeat of the almost monolithic CVCP, right? They don't like losing, and they lost, and there's something to be said about that.
Okay, well, but 3 out of 4 are saying it's the impeachment trial. So actually, that's what we'll start. So yung impeachment trial as the biggest political story of 2012, is there anything else that we want to add to this conversation about that?
Apart from those successes, you would also want the other side of the coin, which is the economy is doing good. We were talking, Verhel and I were discussing about the growth not being inclusive. When you look at it, if there is a news that peso dollar will be 37, that's already alarming. So there are, if in the US there's a fiscal cliff, in ours, we may probably be the second fastest growing economy, second to China for this quarter. But the poor is still there. You know,
Okay.
it's not an inclusive growth.
Yes. It's always been like that, in fact. If you look, that's why the basic question that should be asked every time we are presented with nice growth is, so who made the profit? And definitely not.
Yeah,
And
inclusive nga.
and then another question is it a bubble? And if it's a bubble, when is it going to burst? Right? Because if you've seen growth rates like this before and it exploded.
Yeah.
So we have to be very cautious. A lot of money is going in. Is it going into real investments that will make sense in the long run? Or are they going into, is it hot money? We need to look into that, and we can't just be optimistic. We need to be cautious about this growth.
But given the nature of our economy, if any bubbles would be bursting, there would only be little ones. Because
that's
because of the scale of our economy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said before the Asian financial crisis in '98. You never know. If there's something about sort of fast-growing economies, it's the unpredictability of things.
Yeah.
But still, our growth has been boom and bust cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just waiting for, like when they came up with the growth scenarios, I was asking for the unemployment rate.
Exactly.
But they've never really presented those.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, we're growing in terms of GDP, but,
What does it really mean?
diba, if 2 million graduates are joining the economy, where are the jobs?
I think you need to look at the basis for the figures.
Yeah.
Why was there growth?
Yeah.
I think it's more or less because of the continuous influx of remittances from OFW.
Oh, it's always that.
Always.
Yeah.
Tama siya na yung remittances ng OFW parati nakakalimutan. It's as if it's an industry-led manufacturing base. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really remittance, therefore we are consumer-led.
Yes.
So lahat ng kumikita, mga malls.
Yeah.
Lahat ng kumikita, mga restaurants. Pag tinignan mo, may trabaho ka ba?
On the other hand, if you look at economies, the way they recover, it's always the smaller economies that recover faster than the bigger ones. That's always the case. So there will be bubbles bursting here and there. There've always been bubbles bursting in our midst.
Wait, parang there's a lot of doubt about, you know, all that good economic news.
Kasi tama si
Ganon.
Verhel, who's enriching?
Who's enriching? Who's
Yeah.
profiting?
Are we saying it's the same oligarchs?
You know what's
Yes.
interesting here also is that, di ba, we started about the impeachment trial and then biglang sumegway na tayo dun sa economy. Parang nakalimutan na talaga yung impeachment trial.
But can I say something
Yeah,
about
yes,
can
yes,
I say
yes.
something about the impeachment though? I think what's really interesting about the impeachment is it brought into focus how dependent we all are on lawyers. Because that thing was impenetrable, and if we didn't have people on TV explaining it to us, we didn't know what was happening there. And one of the things that I was thinking about because of the impeachment trial was there are lawyers who can connect with the public, and there are lawyers who just can't explain anything to the public.
So who are the
And
lawyers who can connect?
Well, you know, I just want to say that I was like for me, the argument against Corona was very clear. It was an ethics argument. It was a morality argument, and I don't think you needed to complicate it further with legal jargon. And that's what happened, actually. A lot of lawyers, because they were so immersed in sort of the legal profession and the nitty-gritty of the law, were forgetting that the average person on the street was like, sir, mukhang nagnakaw ng marami yan eh. So dapat matanggal sa pwesto yan.
So were you confused during the trial? You were there.
Yeah, I was there, and I watch very closely. But then I'd like to think that I have sorted things out well enough before I went. And thanks to both lawyers and non-lawyers. I mean, because lawyers will always complicate things for you. If you look at the bills that we have today,
I
they're
feel
very
like
simple.
I have to say something.
Present company.
Definitely, I enjoy my stint with our two lawyers because they.
Yeah.
I thought they went beyond the limits of law.
Yes, Dante,
We have to-
speak up.
There's a dilemma that the lawyers face. Sometimes we have to act in the best interest of our client, but sometimes there's a higher purpose. There's an advocacy involved. You know, we try to strike a balance because we also don't want to lose our license. Right? But at the same time, we want to use the law. We want to simplify it, bring it down to the people, and make it matter to them.
What was that higher purpose for you?
Well, the higher purpose
during the
would be-
impeachment trial?
Well, I suppose really the whole purpose of the exercise is to come up with a distillation of the truth. You have opposing sides clashing, and the theory is that in that clash that the truth will come out. And I think
There
it
is
did.
only one truth, hindi ba?
Well, depends on,
Depends on which
who you're
lawyer.
talking to.
Depends on which lawyer you're talking to.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, it is the most relative thing. Come to think of it, it's the truth. We can only have facts, and we can marshal bodies and bodies of facts, but still not get at the truth. I mean, that's how it is, especially given the tendency among our own leaders, for instance, to tidy up histories for their own purposes. I mean,
I think I
Yeah.
know who you're referring to.
We're going to a break, but when we go to a break kasi, Verhel will be singing for us. Are you going to sing now?
What's your first
Diba, we promised the good music kasi.
Well,
What's your first
I thought I'll Be Home for Christmas would be a terrific theme song for the OFW, for
Yeah, we were
the
talking
labor
about the
diaspora.
economy. Yeah. Okay.
Everyone would certainly like to come home for Christmas,
Right.
even in their dreams.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Look, you must understand that I do not do this for a living.
Yes. But don't worry.
But you will soon do it.
You will
write-
soon.
I write and edit for a living.
Malu promised.
not-
Malu promised. Ano, go.
I'll be home Christmas. You can count on me. Christmas snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love lights gleam. I'll be home for Christmas. If only in my dreams. If only in my dreams.
News.PH Christmas special. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is a News.PH Christmas special. I'm Pia Ontiveros. For those of you just joining us now, well, you missed half the party because Verhel was singing kanina. Well, what we're trying to do here is to replicate or approximate what the Pinoy Christmas is. So you have good food, good music, good friends, good conversation about what else? Politics. So our guests, Verhel Santos, Malu Tiquia, Dante Desierto, and Leloy Claudio. Let's talk about the other big political story of 2012, Jessie Robredo. Who wants to start? Malu.
Jesse, siguro that's a big story because nobody really knew Jesse Robredo. I mean, he was not doing well in surveys, and then when he died, almost all were saying, "Oh my God, we could have been this guy is our future."
Yeah. So why?
And when they
Bakit
started
ganon?
discussing, meron palang ganong leader, meron palang ganong politiko. And that opened a lot of doors for people who were initially not bent into entering politics. There are several people right now who ventured into politics because of Jesse. It took a Jesse Robredo flight missing. Then everyone decided, sino ba tong mamang ito? And then it came to their consciousness na magsaysay awardee pala to. At siya ang naggawa ng miracle sa Naga. So yung lahat na yon, imagine mo si Jesse before being DILG and during the unfortunate incident, he was like ranking 40 in surveys. He was really down. Had you done a survey and included this name right after, I think he would have gone
Number
up.
one.
Yeah, if Robredo had survived that crash,
That would have been a
He
game
would have been
changer.
president.
yeah, he would have been politically made.
He would have been the LP
Politically
standard
made.
bearer?
He probably.
Probably.
I think so.
Because there's kind of
I think
story
so.
behind
Exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
Resurrection. We're very attached to
Yes,
stories
yes,
about
this is
resurrection.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is very much into the culture of this
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
And that's why Lenny Robredo was being pushed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leroy.
I think the reason why people didn't know Jesse Robredo before was because he was a quiet local politician. And I think it brought into focus the fact that we don't give enough credit to low-key local politicians, mayors, mga konsehal, who work for the everyday needs of the people.
And who do well.
Yeah.
Huh?
Who do well.
It's really sad that, good things are only said about somebody once they've gone away. He was a low-key official. The first time I really heard about him was when during the Manila Hotel hostage taking.
And that was a
Quirino
bad
Grandson.
moment
That-
for him.
It was.
Yeah.
But then, because he had passed away because of what happened to him, I came to realize there's actually somebody in government who works very hard, who doesn't want the limelight, but he still wants to do his job, just serve his country. For me, that was very admirable.
But what does it mean, parang even the administration wasn't, what do I say, wasn't too...
My take about the administration, they're just paying Jesse Robredo what he really...
Yes.
Oh, really?
Kasi, to say that he cannot pass the CA, I mean, we've seen the president slam whatever he wants, he gets from Congress. And getting him confirmed, I don't understand why it will take him so long. He was made the object of ridicule in that Luneta incident, despite the fact that the public doesn't even know that part of his function was really cut. So these things, I think when they started saying we're going to offer you this award, and parang pambawi. And then it's also good that Lenny Robredo, Mrs. Robredo decided, state burial medyo sobra na. And it goes to the core of Jesse. When you read Jesse takes the bus, he is SILG. When you read Jesse
Until now,
doesn't-
Lenny takes the bus, diba? And her daughters. Oh.
Even buffet food, he is at ill.
Ill at ease.
Diba? Ordinaryong tao talaga.
Kahit sa burial, di ba? Kita mo, nagkakaroon yung mga tao, di ba? May connect talaga.
At saka, napuno ka agad yung, kung makikita mo yung bahay nila, hindi yun ang bahay ng isang politiko.
Right.
Na kinalakihan natin.
Right.
Ang gate hindi pinturado,
Oo.
ang bahay napakasimple ng gamit.
Oo.
So,
The rattan sofa.
pero hindi sila nahihiya.
Yes,
At saka yung
yes.
pamilya.
The irony and perversity of politics in this country have been revealed in the Robredo case. Look, we learned about how about the possibilities of this man upon his death, And yet, there's so many of those people unfit to serve, and they continue to be elected in office. This is the perversity of Philippine politics. It all falls perfectly into the kind of culture that we have in this country, which is a culture of patron and clients. Apparently, Robredo, not that kind of person, you know. But those who are in power are people who either are themselves patrons or clients of certain patrons, or themselves patrons by certain clients. So this is how it is.
So did his death and the way we all reacted to his death, did that signal that come 2013 and onwards, magbabago na ang botante? Are we going to be holding our public leaders?
I think yung death ni Robredo or yung discovery of who Robredo was dovetails with yung anti-EPAL campaign, because actually he's the opposite of the EPAL. He's the one who never plastered his faces. In fact, nakita mo na lang yung mukha ni Robredo when people were paying tributes to him. There was no Robredo sign in the PNP before when he was alive. So I think if we hang on to these lessons or something,
we should hang on to it.
Yeah, but how do we make sure?
We should continue to explain. We should continue to describe. We should continue to make people realize that this is what the Robredo case is all about.
But the sad fact, Verhel, is that it would seem that the Filipino people easily forget the challenges. How to make his message last all the way till 2016.
And the even sadder thing is that the masses of the people are preoccupied with survival, you know, and therefore these things are lost on them. Look at the last typhoon that we had, you know, and those are the adversities, those are disadvantages.
But is it going to be like another typical Filipino thing, no? After the initial expression of despair, and then the euphoria, and then, you know, we're still talking about
if it becomes that, then we will not have learned our lessons.
Hindi naman siguro.
One is because of Kaya Natin. Kaya Natin is there. Kaya Natin is now recruiting people and fielding more people in political campaigns. Leni Robredo is there. Whether she wins or not, she will remain as the light that would shine for the Robredo brand. And I think there are enough people, probably the next generation or so, who is saying na immediately after Jesse, it was confirmed that Jesse died, there were several youth groups who were saying, meron pala, posible pala yun. So I think the realization that there is actually one guy amidst all this, you know, as Verhel was saying, the perversity of Filipino politics, is already light for me. And if you are able to get the likes of Father Nilo Casas of Masbate win. I mean, yung huling salita nga ni Jesse, kung hindi mo tutulungan yung mga Kaya Natin champions, sinong tutulungan mo? Kung hindi mo, kasi mahirap manalo ang mga taong kasama sa Kaya Natin dahil walang pera.
In a way, it's okay kung mag-dissipate yung image ni Jesse Robredo as a stellar politician, because what he was about was not about himself. It's not supposed to be about personality. So if Jesse Robredo as the personality we don't remember, that's okay. For as long as there are more people who know that they can make change in government.
For as long as his brand of servant leadership, yung mahusay.
EPAL campaign, I very much would like to see it taken to another level, to a more aggressive level, yung EPAL campaign.
Which I
that's
think
the
next to that is already the dynasty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anti-political dynasty bill. Okay. Well, we're going to end the show already. So this is another point where Verhel Santos will provide the good music again.
Good music again.
Yes.
Another Christmas song.
Yeah. What is the appropriate Christmas song now?
Christmas song. You know Christmas song? A song composed by
Chestnuts Roasting on an
Open
Fire.
by Mel Torme. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols sung by a choir, and folks dressed like Eskimos.
Dante sings also.
Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and other goodies on his sleigh. And every modest child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase. The kids from 192, although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
That's for your first album. Thank you to Rahel Santos, Maluti Kia, Dante Di Scerto, and Leloy Claudio. Our Christmas conversation continues in the second part of our News.PH Christmas special. Next Wednesday, December 26th, same time, same place, same people. The place, of course, Makati Shangri-La. Don't be late for the party. See you then. And thank you, of course, to our guests. Merry Christmas, everybody.